I don't think I've ever seen a film like Nickel Boys. Released last year, Nickel Boys is a story about two black teenagers, Elwood and Turner, who form a close friendship during their time surviving the harsh conditions of Nickel Academy, a brutal reformatory school. Throughout the film, they teach each other valuable lessons. Elwood pushes Turner to be more vocal, to not just accept injustice, but to resist it, although that mindset ultimately costs him towards the end of the film. But that lesson sticks with Turner for the rest of his life. Turner teaches Elwood how to survive, how to move carefully, how to carry himself in a way that avoids trouble, and to make the most out of every day. But what really makes Nickel Boys stand out is its cinematography. A lot of movies use first-person perspectives as a way to put you in the character's head. But here, it's used as a foundation of how we experience the film. Most of the film is shot through the eyes of either Turner or Elwood, starting from when Elwood was a kid. At first, it feels a little jarring, but once you settle in, it completely immerses you. You're not just watching them, you are them. So that moment in the film, when the boys stare into the mirror and see themselves, you see that moment of bliss. And in the other moment in the film, when Elwood enters the White House and awaits his punishment, you feel that moment of dread deeply. Actress Anjanae Ellis-Taylor talked about how difficult some scenes were because she didn't always have an actor in front of her. That loneliness made it hard for her to connect with the character at times, but she channeled it into the isolation that Elwood's grandmother felt when she couldn't see her grandson. That just adds another layer to the film's unique approach. Director and writer Ramel Ross spoke about why he decided to take this approach.
There's something fundamentally interesting, I think, when I realized that most cinema, you learn about the characters through observation, through a sort of fundamental objectification, through behavior analysis. In relationship to Black culture and the camera, how can you bring the camera closer to the inside of the body in order to, as I like to say, sort of shoot from, not towards? If you're doing that, you're just bridging another distance or another gap between audience and character.
There are a few moments in the film where it's not shot in first-person point of view. Sometimes it's quick inserts just to add context for the scenes. But the most significant break happens is when we jump forward in time to one of the boys as an adult. I'm about to spoil the movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, skip ahead. I'll leave a timestamp. During the film, unfortunately, we lose one of the two boys. And when we finally see the survivor as an adult, the camera stays behind his head, almost like we're watching over him, as if his friend is still there guiding him. I love when films take a different approach with visual storytelling. There are so many different ways to tell a story, and I'm so glad we have a new generation of filmmakers who aren't afraid to try something bold and push past traditional techniques. Nickel Boys was nominated for 2 Oscars, neither being for cinematography. And unfortunately, but not surprisingly, it lost both. But it's still been getting good praise from a lot of audiences for great reason. If you haven't seen Nickel Boys, I highly suggest you check it out. And if you do, or if you have already, let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, that was, again, another scripted video. I like doing more scripted stuff. Kind of gives me a bit to focus my thoughts, especially when it's something like that I have a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, Nickel Boys is one of the best watches I've seen this year. If you haven't already, definitely go check it out. It's absolutely worth it. I know it's probably not in theaters anymore, but if you can see it in theaters, absolutely go watch it in theaters. But yeah, that's it for me, and I will see you all in the next video.